Oh boy. So what a day it's been. Um wow. So if any of you guys clicked on this video, you probably got clickbaited because it says review slash rant. And the reason you got clickbaited is because I actually am a big fan of this movie. So I'm not ranting about the movie, but I'm here to rant today to you all about my day today that led to watching this movie. And then I will get into sort of the main portion of this show, which is, or of this episode today, which is um giving you guys a review for Final Destination 2. And I'll probably come back to this movie at some point and review it for you guys, 'cause I do want to do like a Final Destination review series before the new one comes out. I think that would be really fun. So I will revisit this review at some point, and I will review it for you guys again whenever the new one comes out. But for now, I just had to get today off my chest. I needed to talk to someone about it. Plus, I needed to, rewatching it again, I was like, you know what? I've been craving a rewatch of this film. And I was like, why not? I'll get on here and film like a quick review for you guys because I really want to start making a lot more content, especially in this last week leading into Halloween. Um, and so I'm continuing my Shocktober review series that I'm doing. And yeah, so before I get into the Final Destination review, remember to like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. But also, before I get into the review, let me address this. So, yeah, what happened today? So, I was doing a shopping day today. I went around shopping all day because um, it because I wanted to go pick up some stuff for my Halloween costume. I'm going to a Halloween party on Saturday, so I wanted to go get some stuff for a Halloween costume. And I was trying it, and I was heading to one of the stores to go pick up stuff. Uh, and as I was driving, the car that I was in died literally in the middle of the intersection. I had to put I had to put um the emergency flashes. I don't know why I can't think of that. Had to put the emergency flashes on. These firefighters pushed us. I say us because my mom was very creative. She was with me. We were both together. But these firefighters came. They had to push our car to a safer area. And then like the police came and we had to end up getting towed. It was the worst thing. And literally what is beyond that, like dude, I'm literally this month, October is my favorite month of the year, and this has to be the worst October I've ever experienced. Like I've been saying to you guys, I haven't been making content that much because a lot of personal shit has been happening to me in my life. And I feel like I'm just utterly cursed right now because like I feel like one of the characters in this movie. I feel like I am cursed. I feel like there is something after me and I'm just need to figure out what it is to stop it. Like it is ridiculous because literally just a week or so before this event happens, I get into what is actually my first real car accident, my first real car wreck on the same street too. How much of a coincidence is that? It's on Ward's Road, which is like the craziest road here in Lynchburg, Virginia. It is literally on the same road and the same shit well, not the same shit, but something super similar happens. Like just, instead of getting in a luckily we weren't in a wreck, but traffic was so insane that we couldn't even step out of our cars. We had to wait for those firefighters to come and push us. Like it was insane. And it was all on the same street. that just made it almost uncanny and scary as all hell. So, like, after that, I came home and I was like, you know what? After the car wreck I had recently, which I also got a stupid ticket for, which is like, really, literally, if you guys have seen the traffic on the road, I got a ticket for following too closely, and that is some BS. Okay, because every human being was doing that, but that's beside the point. I'm still upset about that, but I'm working through all that. Uh, and and I think of all you as like my family, so I can rant to you guys about this stuff. I need to talk to someone about this because this has been eating me up inside. Okay, and then you get to today, and I lost it. I was at my like I was almost dying laughing. Like I literally like the hysterical laughter, like Marilyn Barnes at the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre type of laughing. I was at my breaking point. And so I was like, and I came home and I went to my room and I saw Final Destination uh, collection sitting there. I was like, you know what would be like my dumbass brain sat there thinking, would be a smart idea after this situation with the car, which now we have no cars because one car is getting fixed right now and it should be back here soon. But then uh, this car has to now be fixed. It's like, what the heck? But my perfect plan and idea was to watch Final Destination 2, the movie where a bunch of people die in a car accident. Yay! So, yeah, with all that said, I know none of y'all wanted to hear that. I know y'all are like, why is he even talking about this right now? I just had to get this off my chest. I need to talk to someone about it. And I trust all my subscribers, all my viewers. I just needed to just let that out. All right. I am I'm now done with this portion. I will get into the review part, but yeah, it's pretty bad. Aiden says, hello, Aiden. Aiden said, I was just about to watch Barbarian for the first time, but I saw you live streaming and had to put that on hold for a moment to support your wonderful channel. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And then he says, oh man, that's awful. Yeah, yeah, you can tell me about it. It is truly just God. Um, I I just literally I can't explain it. And so my costume this year is uh not gonna be anything as big as I was hoping. It's going to be something very simple. Okay, so I'll still show off my costume. Y'all might get a kick out of it because it's sort of an original take uh on a certain person, uh, like an original different take on someone. So so I'm gonna try to uh make my costume still cool, but it's gonna be something very simple because this month has been a pain in the ass, and it's my favorite month of the year. So I am hoping that around the holidays it gets better so I can release my Christmas content in a really, really great way without any of this type of stuff happening. But right now, I feel like I'm cursed. So let's get into talking about these cursed characters that I feel that I really relate to right now. And this is your all good man, great storyteller. Thank you. Feel bad for me. I'm telling you. I don't know if you drive Aiden or not, but if you ever do, it's just I wish you luck. Cars suck. They do. You know, I miss the days of being able to just hitch rides from friends or walking places and getting a good workout in because just God and my wallet is going to be broken. I'm literally going to have to make my Patreon. Like it gives me an excuse to make my Patreon like very, very soon because I'm gonna need I mean, the Patreon money will be used to further the channel, but, like, I'm also gonna need to like use my real work money that I get paid and maybe combine it with some of the Patreon money to like pay off some of these insurance loans because god damn. All right. So, anyways, on to the review, guys. And I'm wearing my Ghostface shirt today, and because this has that kind of feel again, like what I know what you did last summer. Did this has that kind of feel for a film like that. Which, by the way, so so it's just yeah, staying off of uh wardrobe at night around 5 o'clock. I'm never going back there around 5 or 6 o'clock ever again. And then two, I'm never going to wear. I love my horror movie shirts. I'm never going to wear a horror movie shirt when I'm on that road because that's another thing I just noticed is when I was in my car accident on that same street, I was wearing a Chucky shirt. And then whenever I have this situation happen to me, I was in my Scream shirt. Like, what is happening? Okay. So, anyways, Final Destination 2. Uh, this is the sequel to the popular uh, first film, which is Final Destination, where a bunch of friends who try to get onto an airplane, they flight 180. They're one of the characters has a premonition, and then they have to get off. He ends up taking all of his friends away to get off of the plane, so then they can uh, pretty much live another day and have to fight death on their own. So it then you that film became very successful. So then you end up getting sequels. Uh, and I'm going to be honest with you, this is one of my favorite horror franchises. Um, hmm, and I say that because I enjoy all but one. Even the one I think is bad still has some entertaining moments, but the Final Destination, which is Final Destination 4, I think it's the worst of the franchise. But all these other ones I really enjoy. And Final Destination 2 might be my second favorite of the whole franchise, right behind 5. I don't know. I really, really enjoy Final Destination 2. And this film, I was actually someone who's a late bloomer when I got my driver's license. And I'm not going to lie, it's actually probably because of this movie. I watched this movie, uh, and I was kind of scared, honest to God, to drive. And anytime I see a log truck on the road, I swerve. Not swerve, never swerve. I switch lanes. Is what I mean to say. I switch over to the lane and just drive right past them because I cannot be behind one of those like log trucks anymore after this movie. God. Uh, and some of these movies have scarred me. Like that scene has scarred me. My sister was so cruel to me when I was young. She decided to show me the first, not the first. I mean, the third Final Destination, the one where all the kids die on a roller coaster. The night before we go to an amusement park. That's right. She showed me Final Destination 3, the one where all these kids die on a roller coaster, the night before I go to a place that involves roller coasters. So yeah, so I've had some definite uh horrors from this franchise. That's for sure. Uh and and yeah, Final Destination 2 is just I feel like it's also because it's directed by a stuntman. Um y- Aiden, you'd probably know the name of the director, but yeah, the filmmaker who made the bad film made the segment interesting because they're totally different. But yeah, and you can tell this was directed by a stuntman because um of like the scene, like how long the first opening scene of this movie was. And I heard something that like the opening scene alone took like 3 months to shoot or something. I could be wrong on that. You guys can fact check me, but I think it took maybe even longer. Like it took so many months to shoot that scene because they had to. It might have been even like 6 or 9 months, something ridiculous like that. I think it was from what I heard. Like they took a long time to shoot this one scene because they needed to master as much as they could and get as much practical effects that they could during that crazy traffic jam scene. And so I think that he did a really great job directing this film. David R. Ellis is his name. Yes, that's his name. Thank you for that. Yeah, David R. Ellis. He did a really good job directing this film. What I've always liked about these Final Destination films is that even if because the dialogue isn't always the greatest, the acting for the most part is good, but isn't always the greatest. There's like a few weaklings here. The story and lore is always great for the most part, um, and the one thing I will always say is that like style wise, these films slap. Okay, like the way these films are shot is so awesome. Like the way that like you're thinking to yourself, "Oh shoot, is that one person gonna die from this one thing? Oh shoot, what's happening?" When that one idiot in this movie, I just call him the idiot because he was an idiot. I'm blanking out on the character's name. When he is uh, cooking the stuff in the kitchen and the the stove is starting to light up, you're like, "Oh shoot, the stove is gonna kill him." And then he pulls out some mozzarella sticks. You're like, "Oh shoot, the mozzarella sticks are gonna kill him." No, just kidding. But you start to see like some stuff happening, or something falls in the stove. You see, how the zooms into that, um, and then the thing falls into the sink, and then you're like, "Oh shoot, what's gonna happen? Is like a garbage disposal gonna turn off? What's gonna happen? Is the sink gonna hurt him now?" And you think it's like one thing, and then it turns out to be something entirely different. And you're like, you think the fire's gonna kill him because of the way it's shot and everything like that. And then he gets out, but then it just happens the ladder's gonna kill him. I love that type of stuff. It like completely tricks you and makes you think one thing and then gives you another thing that you're just totally not expecting. Right? Oh shoot, okay. Like the scene with the boy and his mother when he goes to the dentist, which also this movie was like never going to the dentist again. But no, that's okay. Um, when he gets crushed by that whatever that was, I don't even know what that was. It was like a window or something that fell down and crushed him. Uh, and he goes kasplooey, like kasplat, all over the floor. That was unexpected because previously, the way it was shot, you were thinking like, "Oh shoot, something's leaking." Is that like gasoline? Is there gonna be a fire? Is there gonna be, oh shoot, there's like electricity. Is someone gonna step in that and get electrocuted? Is that how he's gonna die? You had all this different stuff, and then it turns out to be something else entirely. So I really love the kind of trick of the eye here, and I really love the way that the camera movements are shot. Especially like when the one girl gets, and the kills are all great in this movie too. I think the kills are in this whole franchise. I mean, for the most part, I think the kills are fantastic in this franchise. They find a really creative way to do kills, and it's not just like a stereotypical slasher movie where it's like you watch it and then you might, in like a slasher franchise, depending on them. I can enjoy several films in a slasher franchise if they're creative enough, but some of the slasher franchises feel the same, that you're just like watching them and you're like, okay, I feel like I've seen this countless numbers of times, But like with Final Destination, because of the premise, how you can't cheat death, death's coming for you, death is always gonna like they find different ways. It's like that show, Thousand Ways to Die. They find different ways to kill people, and in the most like brutalest ways that they can imagine, or shocking ways that they can imagine. So, so yeah, there's you that one girl when she's in the car and she leans back, or she those firefighters are like trying to get her out of there and they push the car and then you see her whole like head go back. The way it's shot, you don't see her head go back into the thing. You just see the front like airbag pop out. And then it starts to zoom, like the camera goes like this way, and then it shows you the reveal. So it's like the way that these films are, the cinematography is always just on point. So that's one thing I have to uh, give these films credit for, and especially this one. And in this one, we actually have a returning character in the franchise. I am blanking out her name, and I thought I was gonna hold up. Where is it? I thought I was gonna uh, get my phone to help me look it up, but I can't find it at the moment. So you know what? Forget it. But we have a returning character in this movie, and yeah, she does a incredible job here. As always, she was sort of like the main girl. Here it is. Okay, I thought it was hiding somewhere. Um, I I'm a big fan, but I just can't think of her name at the moment. It was let's see, because this film heavily follows the events of yeah, Claire Rivers. You had yeah, Claire Rivers thing, yeah. Um the most odd returning character, uh or Clear Rivers, yeah. Or Claire Rivers, is it Clear Rivers? Something. It's one of the two. Says the most odd returning character name. Yeah, definitely definitely an odd choice, but I thought she did really good in this film, and it's sort of one of those cases where it's like you almost kind of liked her a little bit, at least in my opinion. I liked her just a little bit more than the lead of this movie, honestly. Um, and then she went out in a badass, explosive way, if you get what I mean. Um, if you catch my drift. So yeah, so this film kind of follows the events of what happened after the first. It takes place a whole year later. You get uh, these the character of Kimberly uh, Corman, who she is, she's riding with her friends, and that's how this whole opening scene happens. And uh, she has those crazy premonitions that we always see from Final Destination films, and then as she is going along, she decides to kind of stop traffic and everything, and from then on, her friends end up dying because the cop takes her out of the car, played by Michael Landez, who uh, uh, did a really good job here, and he pretty much saves her life, so that caused her friends to die, and it's just this whole ripple effect. And so she turns to the only person that she can think of, which is the last remaining survivor of Flight 180. And so she, who is being held in a sort of mental asylum, insane asylum of sorts. And then she gets, she meets up with her. Pretty much, she's like saying, "I don't want to help you," yada yada. And then just events happen, and then Clear Rivers gets involved, and then ends up helping Kimberly, which is like she gets out, but like there's really no explanation as to how she got out. Like it's like, bitch, how the hell did you get out of that insane asylum? That just it doesn't work like that. But okay, that's fine. Well, we can suspend disbelief a little bit. But yeah, I thought that it was very. I thought it was a very interesting way to follow up the first, and giving us that character that we from the first film, while also introducing us to like a whole variety of new type of different characters in this one. Um, especially like oh, what's his name? The like ultimate, yeah, Jonathan Cherry, that's his name, who played Rory Peters. He was like the ultimate douchebag from hell. But then like even you started to like him uh by the end of the film. It's kind of um yeah, like right before his wild death scene with the barbed wire happens, you really get to um appreciate his uh his character by the end of it. So they find a really great way to develop them all, to write them all. I think that you know when you really feel sorry for what these characters are going through, and I mean now that this has happened to me today, I could heavily relate to them. And then Tony Todd, pretty much he shows up, you know, always doing what they're what he's there to do, to pretty much give you exposition. And he is there to say the only way to stop death is to bring upon life or something like that. And so they what they think that means is that there's this one pregnant lady who was in her premonition who was going to uh give birth and whatnot. But she ends up that so she so or not she ends up giving birth later, but this one pregnant woman, she envisions her and says maybe that's what should happen. Maybe if she gives birth, then maybe that'll prevent it, because that'll be now a new life, and that'll prevent death from following us again. And so they're trying to keep her alive so she can give birth to the baby, and everything will be all happy, sunshine and rainbows, or will it? So that's pretty much the plot gist here. And yes, I did give you guys some spoilers, but you guys have had time to see this film by now. So, and if you haven't seen it by now, you really aren't interested in it, to be honest. So, I that's why I did throw in the spoilers there for a little bit. Cla- Claire had was friends with someone in that asylum, probably. Yeah, I mean, she probably was. I wish they would have explained that a bit, or shown you like someone that like a deleted scene at least of something like that happening. Maybe there is one. I haven't watched special features. But uh, and also like, what a depressing way to live when she was in the insane asylum. She had pictures of her dead friends. Like that, God, that's like that's awful. Like you're I mean, I get that she's trying to I guess she's trying to remember everything that happened and trying to make sure that it doesn't happen again. She's trying to figure all this stuff out, but like I would hate that. Just outright saying, I would hate that. Um, and then uh, Aiden also says, I love the one scene where dude was trying to commit suicide with a gun, but death won't allow it. Dude, yeah, that was insane. That was shocking. And then there was like, what? I can't. Did that happen? And the death scene before that, when she when the girl was on the elevator and then was uh her neck was getting caught in the elevator. Like, God, I already am scared of elevators, but like this film is when I first watched this, it heightened my fear of elevators just a little bit more, because it's just, God, I can't think of getting my head stuck like that. That'd be the worst thing in the universe. So yeah, and that guy, that's another example where that guy was sort of a douche at first, and then you ended up really understanding his character. I thought that they did a really excellent job at like developing every one of these people. And you really feel sorry for him. And uh, so like, so yeah, I thought that that was really. Uh, I thought that scene was really well done. I thought that character was really well done. Um, it's always fun to just see like that's what makes these movies stand out. Is like I don't know what they're gonna do with Final Destination 6 because I hear it's gonna be like break the mold or something or be entirely different, which would be interesting to see. But like I kind of have grown used to seeing this just kind of original, unique take of horror where it's just trying to watch characters survive this supernatural. And I guess we could all say it is supernatural, just like a supernatural being, like death himself, like just not present, but still there, pretty much just taking out each one of these, uh, kids. So yeah, it's pretty wild. Um, and then what happened to your Hellraiser review series? I know. I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you rewatch it, I have had a lot of shit hit the fan this month. Like a lot. It's kind of hard to understand just how much crazy stuff has happened. So I plan on getting back to it eventually. I might either finish it off this week or do some more videos of it this week or sometime in November. I'll just, I'll do that or I'll watch them all and I'll do like a tier list for you guys, like a big, gigantic, long tier list that will like review all the films and then, uh, rank them or something. That way you guys get that closure for the series at least. So I'm gonna do one of those two things. I haven't decided yet, for sure, but I definitely will do one of those two things. Um, and then, uh, oh, speaking of song, that's funny too. But speaking of song, that scene with the song, she like is able to guess what song's going to come on the radio. That was really cool. And then uh, that whole thing was kind of a neat. There's always like these neat little subtle aspects to these movies. Um, and then an innocent black man says, "To me, the Final Destination movies suck. If you want to review a good horror movie, the 1988 movie Bad Dreams." I have never seen. Uh, I've never seen Bad Dreams, so I'm gonna have to check that out. I might have some bad dreams after uh, what's been happening lately, but I'm gonna have to check out Bad Dreams. I would put it on my radar. Thank you for that. And whenever I make my Patreon soon, maybe I'll make because I want to have like exclusive reviews for patrons that YouTubers won't get, that people on YouTube won't get to see. So maybe I would do that on Patreon. Maybe I might do that on here at some point if I have time. I don't know yet, but yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'll have to check that out. Because I also want to do something like that to where like you guys recommend a movie for me that I've never seen before, and then I will like pick a Patreon and I'll like review that movie for that person. So then it's sort of like if Aiden was like, "Hey, you've never seen uh what's a movie I haven't seen?" Um I actually have never seen Night of the Creeps. If he was like, "Hey, you've not seen Night of the Creeps," and then he wants to have me review it for Patreon, then I'd say, "Okay, this review is for Aiden. Thank you for being a Patreon member and all that stuff." So it's kind of cool. I thought about uh doing that. He says Dude, Bad Dreams is great. You're missing out. Similar to Nightmare on Elm Street. Ooh, I love Nightmare on Elm Street, so I'll definitely be interested in that. And then he says, "Okay, cool. No more Final Destinations movies, so they're truly awful." I don't think they're awful. I think they're fun schlock. I mean, are they particularly good or great? I mean, I think they're solid, but are they great? No, but they they're fun. I enjoy them. I think that they are entertaining. Um, they are the definition of guilty pleasure for me. And maybe no more Final Destination movies for you, but keep on bringing them on. For me, I'm excited to see what the next one's going to be like, and I do want to review all these movies on the channel at some point. Um, have you seen the slasher movie, The Prowler? I have. That's actually a really fun one. Yeah, that's a really interesting one. But anyways, guys, yeah, wrapping up this review for uh for Final Destination 2. Um, this is one of those rare cases where actually, as someone who still really enjoys the first one, I think the second one's even better. I think the second one has stronger direction, stronger characters, maybe. Um, I mean, nothing was still top the shocking bus scene of the first one. That was like, holy shit, what? That was like one of the best jump scares ever. But um, but when it comes to overall just the filmmaking, the the performances, etc., I think that Final Destination 2 finds ways to top the original, but it also just finds ways to maybe not be quite on the same level of the original in some aspects. And I go back and forth sometimes, but um, I've always liked how like the first one's a plane movie, this one's a car movie, and then they keep on having these different kinds of almost subgenres of sorts, or not really subgenres, but like different situations that these characters get into. And this one does it all really well. It's got some great deaths. It's got some great lore building, world building. I'm always a sucker for that. So uh, overall, guys, this is a solid one. My only negatives would honestly be, um, if I had any flaws, it would be, of course, that scene I mentioned where it's like she's in the insane asylum. She just gets out. There's no explanation. It's like, okay, come on, at least give me something there. And then, maybe my other kind of con would be the writing of the story is good. The dialogue sometimes is really rough to get to through, especially like in the first scene. Like, I'm glad her friends died because those were the cringiest characters on the planet Earth. Like, those characters were cringy as fuck, and I was ready for them to die. And then they died, and my heart was happy. I know that sounds just horrible and wicked to say, but it's true. Uh, so um, so yeah, but then the writing did get better as it went along, but it had some pretty rough patches in the beginning. I'll say that. But overall, I think very tightly paced, very uh, well shot, well directed movie, and one of in my probably I'd say my biggest guilty pleasure franchise that I will always revisit is Final Destination 2. So if you guys have not seen Final Destination 2, well, kind of ruined the movie for you, but still go out and check it out anyways. Um, and so yeah, uh, hey, what is up, Leo? How you doing, man? It says they died, but yet there was still dialogue. Yeah, yeah, it's like kind of interesting. Um, but let me know what you think of this movie. Are you a fan of the Final Destination series? Let me know. And for anyone else watching, let me know down below. What are your thoughts on Final Destination? Are you guys into this franchise? Are you not? Would you like to see me cover the rest of these films and do like a review series down the line for you guys? Let me know um, if that's something you'd be interested in, or a watch along series where I do like watch alongs for all of them at one point before the new one. Uh, Let me know and see if that's something you'd be interested in. So, um, Wolfman come on. Those characters were like 2000s. I don't know. Yes, and guess what? The 2000s are cringe. Okay, I mean, okay, no, the 2000s are like they're all right, but like a lot of those, like I said, it's got that cheesy aspect to it. The thing that's like those like urban legend sequels, stuff like that type of feel to it. So not necessarily bad, but like it's just, but there's, but also kind of bad when it comes to like the cheesy nature of it. But it's still very very fun though, and you can still get so much entertainment out of it. So I've always enjoyed it. And enjoy the series. It says great review. I enjoy this sequel a lot. And then Leo says I've always had a soft spot in my heart for this series. The concept is fascinating, but the rest of them were just so terrible. I am intrigued by the new one. Uh, so interesting. So you like the first one, but you don't like the rest of them, because I actually enjoy all but the fourth one. I think the Final Destination was like really bad, but I think the rest of them are actually really solid in my opinion. So, and hey, I mean, Final Destination 5, I think is the only certified or not certified, but only fresh movie on Rotten Tomatoes of the franchise. So it is definitely, and I'm definitely interested to see what they're going to do with the new one, like how different it really is going to be. I will, I'll definitely be there to watch it, and I hope it gets released in theaters. I hear it's going to be an HBO Max movie, and if it is, then I'll be kind of bummed with that because I really want to see that in theaters and experience like my first Final Destination movie in a theater. I don't know. I think that'd be really cool, but we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, hopefully they do. Uh, but yeah, that'll be it for the review, guys. Um, okay, cool. So you like the first and love the second. Yeah, that's how I feel too. I like the first one, but I love the second one. The second one's just awesome. I do like the deaths in most of them. Oh yeah, that that would be fun if I did like a series for you guys, or watch along series, review series, whatever it is that's covering Final Destination. It would be so much fun to cover, like to do like the best kills in Final Destination and like rank all the best kills in Final Destination. That would be really like all the Final Destination films. That would be really fun. So maybe I should do that at some point. But yeah, uh, again, guys, I just want to thank you all for watching. Be sure you like, subscribe, share, uh, do all that fun, exciting stuff, guys. I'm one step closer to 1K, guys. We're almost there. And I'm, as far as my Patreon goes, I'm going to be working on that heavily this week. Hopefully, I can get it launched by Halloween. So then that way, every anniversary of when I launch Patreon will be on Halloween. So I kind of want to do it that way because it's my favorite day of the year. So I will see if I will get that ready for you guys, and I will start advertising that. And you know what? Just talking with you guys, hanging out with you guys today has cheered me up after the day I've had. If you guys want to, if you're just tuning in now, I kind of ranted about the day I had at the beginning of this review, and it was not so pleasant. But you know, this movie kind of cheered me up, and then talking to you guys uh, today has definitely cheered me up. So thank you all for that. And again, just more and more content coming your way in October, as well as in the coming months. Uh, I do have some big uh, plans in store for you all, so be on the lookout for those. But that'll be it, guys. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, stay spooky, my friends.